Hey everyone, Vintage Vinny here. Welcome to another haul video. Everything I'm going to be sharing with you today came from Bits of Time in Bedford, Pennsylvania. So I forgot to mention in my last video, after I went to the Queen City Flea in Cumberland, Bedford, Pennsylvania is only 40 minutes away from there. So I know that there are a few shops in the Bedford area that I like to hit, including Hokey G's, Bits of Time. There's another place called 13 Pines Trading Company. And there's also a Primitive Peddler place along with Founders Crossing. I did not get a chance to go to Founders Crossing this time because I had spent so much time in Cumberland with all of the with the 3 floors of treasure at the Queen City Flea. So at Bits of Time was actually my last place because it closed the latest of the 2 antique malls, indoor flea market places. So I think I spent a little over $100 here. It was a crazy spending day. I had a streak where I was finding stuff like crazy. Of course, I did pay up for one item and with the hopes of selling some of these items to pay for that said item. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what I got, shall we? I love this. This is a Hallmark beanbag. It's a jack-o'-lantern. That would fit in perfectly with my vintage Halloween decor. That was only $2.99. This is a beautiful brooch. I did do some research on this and I found out that this was made for Avon. Some Avon jewelry. I think it even says it right there. Yep, Avon. Some Avon jewelry is actually worth some money. So keep your eyes peeled for it. I can't remember what, or I remember what I paid for that. It was $4.99. I don't think this was on sale. It probably didn't get rung up for the half. I think that booth was half off, but whatever. $4.99 is still fair, considering what this will sell for. Some of these items will have already been sold by the time this video goes up, so I apologize for that. I did not do any videoing for the week before my sale with Katie of Vintage and Vinyl because I would have been backed up on stuff to sell and whatnot. So I went ahead and just basically took the week off from filming, and of course I'm going to be bringing some of the items that you all will be seeing in this video. I already brought to the sale and they've already been sold. I like advertising for banks and whatnot, and this is a really cool one for Moxham National Bank. I'm not sure where that was originally, but that was cool. Still's got the thermometer. I know that people do collect these, so when I find them at a reasonable price, I do like to pick them up. This is interesting, and I do want to say I picked this up because I'm pretty sure that I researched it before I bought it. It's a Clearview Coil brand stand magnifier. These are good to have on hand if you're reading books or like they're showing on the cover doing a crossword. So those were some pretty good finds there. All right, so this was really okay. No, we're not doing that. So this cow was very interesting. This is, ooh, that's not focused. I apologize. There we go. That's better. This is a Joseph original cow made in Korea, so it's not Japanese made, but thought that was a really interesting piece. I'll probably be putting that up on eBay. We will see. I think that this is considered a frozen Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken, because of it's one of those bisque dolls. It says made in Japan on the back. A297, I believe. No, I'm sorry, A271. Hard to see through the camera. I know that people love their Fenton pieces, so I found this really nice iridescent white bird. It is marked, where's it marked? Right here? No, I saw the Fenton mark on here somewhere. Oh, right here. Right where my thumb is, Fenton. So that's probably from the 70s, because they didn't start marking their things in the glass until 1971, I believe. I also got this adorable puppy dog. I have to do a little bit more research on him. He's a big one, though. He's one of the larger dog figurines that I've had in a while, so I gotta look him up. He might be a Lefton or something like that. And then I grabbed these cats. I have had something like this before. I've never had the pair, though. So I think we've got a male and a female. It's a pair of them. That's not showing very well, is it? There we go. I apologize. They say 1517 and 1514 on the bottom. So I got the pair for one price. So, of course, I will do my research again to see if those are going on eBay or if those will be available at the sale. All right. So I did get two, I think these are Daisy and Button. Ooh, that's not in focus. I apologize. Two Daisy and Button shoes. I think I would probably sell these for a pair, or sell them as a pair, because, you know, you can't have really one shoe, even though technically I've sold them that way before in the past. But since I have two of them together, I thought maybe I could sell them together. I also got this toothpick holder. I know that we are slowly transitioning from fall to December, or fall to winter, I'm sorry. So I'm not sure if amber glass will still be popular, because I did buy this stuff in September, I believe. So I don't know if I'm going to be stashing it away on my fall shelf or if people will still buy it. I do know that, and I say it all the time, people who have mid-century or do boho use amber glass, I think, all year. So I don't mind selling it all year if people are interested in it. Although I do know that fall time is typically when people will pick up the amber glass. I've seen these before, but I've never picked one up. I don't really know what it is. Is it supposed to be like a fancy schmancy creamer or something? But it was a good price, so I picked it up. This. I have been waiting to find a turquoise nut chopper forever. This one is plastic on top, so it's probably 50s, 60s. Great price on that, so I'm keeping that for myself, of course. And then I found this nurse's figurine, and I've seen one similar to it before, but it's got a Japan mark and a number, so I think that might be Lefton, if I'm not mistaken. She's in good condition, no cracks or chips. So that was definitely a good pickup, I think. All right, so I have some really cool looking tins to share with you all. This is awesome. This is an Ivan's, oop, that's not focused. There we go. Ivan's spiced wafers. As you can see, it is rusty and crusty, but it is still really cool nonetheless. It looks like at one point somebody kept rubber hair tips in here. Because of the rust and everything, of course, I'm going to price this fairly because I know somebody is going to love to display that. This is so stinking cool, you guys. So this is a Stefano Brothers cigarette box, and it's got an Egyptian theme to it, so very Egyptian Revival-esque. I can see part of the tax stamp right here, and it looks like it says 1909. So this is turn of the century. This is amazing. And I saw it in this booth, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so expensive. It's so cool. But no, it was only $1. That's showing up? Yep, $1 for that. I am keeping that, and also I showed that to Mystic Mom, and she said that I'm not allowed to sell that. So it's a win-win situation for me. I also managed to get 3 of these pumpkins. I'm not sure if they're terribly old, but I think they have a little bit of age to them. So I got 2 of them that look like this. And then I've got this one, which I think sits on top of one of like the plastic candles. So I thought those were very, very fun for Halloween. Sorry if that went out of focus. And the last thing I'd like to share with you all from my trip to Bits of Time is this really awesome 1950s Linmar Mickey Mouse wind-up toy that does still work and has his original box. I saw him right when I walked in the door and grabbed a cart. And I said, oh, how cool is that? And I will say it was not cheap. I did pay 60 bucks for it. But I think that if I were to sell this down the line, it would do very well. So it was something I paid up for, but it still would do well considering it still has the original box and the toy works. I've never seen this before. I'm usually used to seeing like Mark's wind-up toys and things like that. I've never heard of the Linmar brand. But it's in really good condition. Let me bring it up closer for you all. I mean, look at it. It's very clean, and it's not... There's not a lot of rust or anything to it. See, it says Linmar Toys Japan, Walt Disney Productions. The funny thing about Disney products, especially the older Disney stuff, is there's not a lot of... Some Disney stuff is marked with a year on it, some of it's not. So it's very interesting on how to date this, because honestly, if I didn't do my research, I would have thought this was probably from like the 1930s because of how the box is. But no, apparently it's from the 50s. But still, just such a really cool item to have, and I never thought that I'd ever be able to own something like this, let alone be able to hold it. So I think the lady was ringing me up at the register, and I was like, let me just look it up real quick and see what it goes for. So I went ahead and looked, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take this, because even though it's $60, it was still worth paying that price. So that was really cool, and again, that is the last thing I picked up at Bits of Time. So before we conclude this video, I have a small little haul from the Bedford Goodwill that I'd like to share with you all. So let's check that stuff out. So after Bits of Time, on the way home, the Goodwill in Bedford is right on that same road. It's literally like right across the street from Hokey G's. So I stop in there, and I find some stuff every now and then. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It just depends on the day. Can't even remember what I spent, but I got some pretty decent stuff in there, including these really awesome Roseville pottery cornucopia. Those are not focused at all, I apologize. But you guys can see them, they're beautiful. Is that even in focus? No, it's not, I'm sorry. I think that's a lot better. Okay, there we go. So I got those cornucopia vases. They are marked Roseville. So here is the Roseville mark. I do assume that that is an authentic marking. They don't look to be fake to me. So I did pick those up. This is a very unique candlestick. And of course it's marked as is. I just really liked that intricate portrait of the lady on there. Unfortunately, it is broken right there. I may try to find some kind of nail polish or something to touch that up. I bought this for myself because it's a very unique piece, and I would feel terrible if something like this got thrown away because it's been around so long. I probably won't try to sell that at all because it is, of course, got a significant chip out of it, but it's a really unique piece nonetheless. I did find a mothball piece. It hangs in your closet. Still got the hanger. This has probably already been sold by the time that you see it, but people like these and they collect them, and they also use them, I think, to as risers. So I went ahead and grabbed that. I also found this really cool Seth Thomas clock. I thought that that was a really neat piece. It is marked on the back. It says made in Germany for Seth Thomas Clocks in Thomaston, Connecticut. I'm not sure when this was made, but it almost has kind of like a mid-century look to it, but I know that really doesn't necessarily mean anything, because I know that that look kind of went into the 60s until the 60s kind of developed their own style that got away from the mid-century stuff. If we move this stuff over gently, This is awesome. I saw this on the shelf and I was like, I gotta pick that up. This is DuPont Refined Camphor. It does have sewing notions in it, so I don't think that was what was originally supposed to be in here. Looks like it says there were 32 1.5 ounce tablets. I love this tin. I think this is awesome. I haven't researched it. I just grabbed it because I really liked it and the price was good. So that was definitely a win-win. It's full of sewing notions, which I don't really know what to do with because I know that a lot of people can find that stuff, so I don't try to sell it. I'm not really a tank top person. I have two. Both have been thrifted. This is a Hollister XL in my color, that green and that blue. Good for the beach, or, you know, if I need to cut the grass during the spring and summertime. I want to say that was probably like $4.50, which, you know, for Hollister, that's pretty reasonable considering how much it is brand new in the store. So, of course, I picked that up. And I think that about does it for this video from my trip to Bedford, PA. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments section what were your favorite items from this haul. Take care, everyone.